Donald Trump seemed to slip and admit that he is planning to do it. And what is incredibly tragic is that I believe there are millions, if not tens of millions of Americans who have no clue what he is toying with and what he is planning to do this November. Donald Trump appeared and was interviewed on the Wayne Allen Root show. If you want to see some wacky stuff, check out my old interviews, by the way, with Wayne Allen Root on my YouTube channel. Wayne Allen Root proposes to Trump, what about declaring a national security related emergency, use it to just impose voter ID, no matter what state law says, require proof of citizenship, put limits on mail-in ballots, reduce early voting, all this stuff. Do the whole thing. Just do it. If you're famous, they let you do it. Or what was it? Now, Trump could have said, oh, well, I don't have the authority to do that, or that's not something the president can do, or maybe not something the president should do. No. Trump instead goes, well, you might be surprised. Take a look at this.
So let me put an idea in your head, okay? Because it's so hard to get the Senate to do anything, now they're on recess, they don't get anything done if they never get the Save America Act done. You have the right to declare a national security emergency for elections. And the Supreme Court ruled in 1983 under Reagan that INS versus Chadha, that if you declare a national security emergency as the President of the United States, they can't challenge it. It can only be overturned by a 2/3 vote of both houses of Congress. So if you do this in the next month, we will get photo ID, proof of citizenship, and a limit to mail-in ballots. And
Let
you
me
don't
just
even
say that
need
stranger
the
things
Senate
have
vote.
happened. Okay, I'll leave it at that.
All right, we'll leave it at that.
This should be setting off every single alarm. I don't, we sometimes get desensitized to the insanity of what our elected leaders are trying to do. And we go, yeah, okay, Trump's going to do another thing. Give me a break. Wayne Allen Root is not asking Trump to support a piece of legislation to change requirements around voting. That would be a process that is enshrined in the law, and that makes sense. Wayne Allen Root is suggesting that Trump bypass Congress, bypass state law, bypass governors, bypass state attorneys general, and just impose election rules from the White House. This is a form of federalizing elections, which Trump does not have the authority to do. And Trump's response is this kind of wink. I'm not glitching, by the way, I'm winking. It's kind of a wink and a nod, which is I'm thinking about that. Keep talking about it, normalize it, see how people react, see whether his followers get behind it. We cannot prove that someone arranged this interview for Wayne Allen Root to propose this and for Trump to go, yeah, maybe I'll do it. Maybe it was spontaneous, maybe it was planned, I don't know. But the point is, this is how trial balloons work. And this is how a population starts to get desensitized to these radical authoritarian ideas. For now, Trump isn't rejecting it. He's going, well, you might be surprised. His movement will repeat it. People like Wayne Allen Root will repeat it. And then all of a sudden, this outrageous power grab is, well, it's an option. It's an option we might do. Now, this connects directly to something I talk about on the show and something I talk about in my forthcoming book, Pay Attention, which, by the way, if you haven't seen my interview with Brian Tyler Cohen about the book, I was in Brian's studio, nasty studio. Check out the interview of Brian did of me about the book, and make sure you've pre-ordered it at davidpakman.com/attention. Algorithmic silos. This is what I talk about. Algorithms look at what you react to, and they optimize around that. These algorithms don't optimize around what the president can legally do. The algorithms optimize around what is generating interest and emotional reaction and getting shared. And most of what people truly consume, and it applies to this election stuff, was not chosen by the viewers. You were nudged in that direction. And we end up in these separate information systems where we believe completely different things about what's going on in the United States, or even about what's legal in the United States. So people watching this program right now, for the most part, there are some Magapotamians, even some Magadonians in the show, which is a whole crazy other thing. But there are some MAGA people that watch this show. But for the most part, the people that watch this show know that Donald Trump is entertaining an election emergency. This is something that he's kind of toying with, and there are people around Trump wanting him to think about it. There are millions of other Americans who will never find out that this is something Donald Trump is considering. Their feeds will show them immigration stories and lurid crime videos or claims about a dead grandma who voted and is 175 years old and surviving off olive oil or whatever. And then if Trump does declare the emergency, it is going to feel to some of these people like, I mean, listen, I've been getting fed stories of lurid crimes by undocumented immigrants and election fraud by undocumented immigrants. It sounds reasonable that Trump would declare this emergency. So we have a situation where some of us who have been following this will go, this is the authoritarian attack we've been warning about. And others will go, he should be allowed to do it because we got a real problem out there with this fraudulent voting. Now, the law, to the extent that it still matters, is very clear. States set election procedures. Congress can change them by passing legislation. The president does not have that power, does not have any equivalent power. Declaring an emergency would activate the powers that Congress has granted. None of them lets Trump federalize elections, impose the rules that Wayne Allen Root is proposing to him by decree. And by the way, a federal judge has already blocked part of Donald Trump's earlier order requiring proof of citizenship to vote, saying these are not powers the president has. These are powers belonging to the states and Congress if Congress decides to pass a law. Now, here's the unfortunate reality. Even an illegal order can create chaos, and it can force emergency court battles, and it can confuse officials, and it can undermine trust. And who the hell knows? Maybe there's a Republican attorney general out there who goes, I don't have to do this because Trump said it, but I want to do it because Donald Trump said it. It is not treasonous in the constitutional sense, but it is an authoritarian proposal to abuse emergency power and interfere with elections. And Trump could have closed the door on it. And instead he goes, hey, stranger things have happened. You might be surprised. Most Americans are not going to hear the warning that we are yelling about from the rooftops almost every day on this show about this election until Trump decides to act on it. Just important to restate, states run elections. And even if Trump sat in front of that camera in the Oval Office on a Thursday at 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. and said, I am declaring an emergency and we are postponing the election, it means legally nothing to the states. But that doesn't mean it won't create chaos or that some zany Republican attorneys general would go, this is our opportunity to try to save Republicans. We can't let them do it. Step one is we've got to be informed. Have you ever actually looked at what's in your dog's food? A lot of kibble is made with extreme high heat, then patched back together with a bunch of synthetic ingredients that I struggle to pronounce. But our sponsor, Sundays for Dogs, is different. It was founded by Dr. Tori Waxman, a vet and dog parent, to just be real food that's easy to serve. Sundays starts with all natural meat. They add highly nutritious foods like kale, ginger, and blueberries, no fillers, no nutritional blends, and it's gently air dried. No need for a fridge, freezer, prep, or mess. A friend of mine has been using Sundays and loves it. Their dog gets very excited for meals now. They love knowing that they're feeding something simple and complete and genuinely high quality to their dog. Sundays also just launched a new fish recipe with omega-3s to support skin, coat, joints, and brain function. Go to sundaysfordogs.com/Pakman for 50% off your first order. The link is in the description.